What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Vanilla Soup, the guy who cries during E3 I guess. Today I wanted to talk about something that is probably on all of our minds, and that is the return of Banjo-Kazooie to modern platforms. I know I'm not alone in the fact that I want the Bear and Bird to return. In fact, I feel like their inclusion and reveal in Smash is enough alone to prove that. So that's it, right? We should expect a new Banjo game very soon, right? Well, maybe not as soon as we'd hoped, and I'll get into why. You see, shortly after the Banjo reveal for Smash, the next big question is obviously, are they getting a new game? Short answer is obviously, we don't know. Aside from their inclusion in Smash, no indication has been given by Microsoft or Rare that they even have plans to revive the series. In fact, the lack of representation during last year's 20th anniversary of Banjo-Kazooie and the continued focus on Sea of Thieves, Rare has shown more against the comeback of the Bear and Bird rather than support it. But do you hear that?
It's the winds of change.
I think their inclusion in Smash Bros. Is more than enough of a sign that the studio should definitely work on Banjo 3. Look at what Smash was able to do for the Fire Emblem franchise in the West alone. Imagine what kind of power their inclusion in Smash will be. Millions of new players from new generations are being exposed to these two iconic characters. Everyone has an eye on Banjo-Kazooie right now. Now, there are concerns, I get that, like the fact that Rare is in deep with Sea of Thieves and continue to find more and more success with that game. And I love Sea of Thieves, and I would be very sad if that game stopped being supported. So I don't think the right avenue is for Rare to stop working on that game altogether and drop everything else they may be working on just to focus on Banjo. Heck, most of the team at Rare these days hasn't even worked on an original Banjo-Kazooie game. Most of those guys have started Playtonic with the release of the Yooka-Laylee series, so maybe outsourcing is in order. I'm not suggesting Playtonic should take over per se, because I know that I'm not alone in saying that Yooka-Laylee is a great game, and the fact that it's getting a sequel is very promising for their future. I would hate for that series to go away too, and I doubt that they would want to stop producing the games in the series of characters they created and they have control over. So us fans can certainly see where this is getting a little bit tricky now. Even if Rare wanted to make a new game, it wouldn't really feel the same unless they had the right people. Even in an interview with the original developers of the Banjo-Kazooie games, Stephen Mills had this to say: "I don't think Rare has an appetite for it. I don't think they believe it would sell. And even in my mind, I'm not sure. It's easy to get wrapped up in my Twitter feed, but that's just a tiny audience in comparison." He continues by saying, they'd have to find the right people to do it. Ubisoft Milan were perfect for Mario, for example, and the Killer Instinct guys did a good job. Now you may take this as him saying, hey, we're willing to do it, you'd have to find the right guys, wink wink, nudge nudge. I don't necessarily know if that's what they're saying, but hey, if they are on board with it, I'm on too. Just please, maybe a buddy game with Yooka-Laylee and Banjo-Kazooie, a co-op experience. That's one idea. I'm not saying that's what has to happen, but a good one, I think. Keep in mind, this is just one man's opinion, and there are numerous fans, myself included, that would disagree with this man's statements above. While I respect what Steve said about getting wrapped up in his tiny audience, and I can see where he's coming from, I just think he underestimates how big his audience really is. So yes, I think it would sell, tremendously in fact, but the biggest thing on my mind is that it has to be a true Banjo 3. Unlike Nuts and Bolts and unlike Rare Replay. While I'm not necessarily against Rare Replay being on the Switch, I just feel that Xbox has made that game more than accessible already. And yes, I would love to buy it if it included games like Diddy Kong Racing and Donkey Kong 64 this time. I just still feel that Banjo 3 is what is critical to making this series come back into full swing. Like I said in my last video regarding Banjo-Kazooie, Rare and Xbox won't take this lightly. With all the manpower Xbox has behind it, with purchasing a new studio seemingly every day it feels like, they have more than enough opportunities to help Rare figure this out. But I really think it all boils down to what Rare and Xbox want, and what they believe they can do with these characters. I have more than enough faith in those guys. They still create magic on a daily basis for me and countless others. And we know they are listening. They said so on their tweet about Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash, saying, "You asked, we listen." Already off to a great start, but what I find most interesting is their additional tweet right after saying, Just wanted to let you know that we are seeing and loving all these responses and eardrum bursting reaction videos to Banjo-Kazooie in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Enormous care was taken on both sides to make sure this thing was done right, and its reception is a joy to behold. Thank you all. I really want to quickly point out one of the things that they talked about are in that tweet. They said that they were taking enormous care. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like that's a very PR sort of statement. We're taking very good care. They know us fans want Banjo 3, but we want it done right. We don't want really a nuts and bolts again, even though some really do love that game. I'm not one of them per se, but they know we want it done right. And I think this is what they're saying. They're saying, hey, we're taking enormous care to bring these characters into Smash, and it's a little bit of a warm-up to say they are taking care of Banjo-Kazooie in the future. Guys, I think it all boils down to this. They are listening. So no matter the concerns we discussed in this video, despite any of the concerns any of us have, they hear us. We showed the outstanding community interest. Now the ball is in their court. Let's just hope they decide to welcome us into their game. There is nothing else we can do but hope and pray. And I mean, guess make countless videos on it, because that's what I'm gonna do. And until next time, my friends, I'll see you online. Vanilla Soup, out.
Okay.